Okay, so 3 days ago I said that this was not going to be an all-rain storm, and things are completely trending in that direction right now. Actually, I'm just going to jump right into it. We're going to go over to tropical tidbits right now and look at some stuff. So we're going to start off with our absolutely lost GFS model. And as you can see, what it does is, yeah, it's just the warmest of the models, and the most aggressive with the storm overall cutting like that, with that much warm air being flooded. But look what happens as the storm comes up. The high pressure starts to pull away. So I think the GFS may or may not catch on to it because its resolution age, it's done. It's out of its resolution, so I think it's just going to crash and burn. But, it could turn the tides around. Who really knows? It's the GFS. What do you expect? So we go over to our accumulated snowfall, and we can see. Not too impressive. Not too impressive at all, even if you go over deeper. It's not really all that impressive. I don't think the GFS is right at all. So what we're going to do is next we're going to go over to our Canadian model, which I think is handling this storm very good. Let's first go out more to our... Here we go. This right here has my attention. So, if you look over here. I'm sorry. Rewind this. Starting from the beginning. Storm's coming up, right? You notice something. On the GFS, the high pressure is kind of going off more like this, bringing up more warm air. The Canadian is more like this. And it's also further east. Funny enough, it's also further stronger as well. And it's snowier. And then it goes over to rain, and then it goes back up over here. And you can also see that that high pressure actually is kind of pushing it a little bit more like this. Where the GFS model, not really. I think the Canadian has a real solution. However, I want to show you guys something. Look how much snow it racks up in these areas. The Canadian, if it is indeed correct, there is the potential of a 4 to 6 inch snowfall possibly. And I mean, it's very tight gradient, guys. It's very, very tight. But something like this area could get a 4 to 6 inch snowfall if everything plays out right and everything's colder. So that's the Canadian model. NAM model, I think it's coming around to the right idea. Just still a little bit behind on that. Yeah. But there's a nasty band of snow that's going to set up somewhere in New Jersey. That's known. That's already known. Even if we go down into our 12-kilometer NAM, same thing. And you get down to your 4-kilometer NAM. So I think the NAM is trending in the right direction. But from time and time again, these models have blown my mind away. I have nailed so many forecasts because of them. So we're going to use the WRF, which is a model and a module of the ARF and NMM. And you can see how the snow comes in and goes over to ice. You look at the total snowfall, and it's not exactly done yet either with the whole run. But if you go over to our WRF NMM model, I can't show you the snowfall right now because that part's not done running yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to our rain and frozen precipitation. It's even more aggressive. More. Colder than the ARW model. So we're going to definitely track these two models over time to see what they're doing with this storm. Because I think it has the right picture. And then I think the RGM is doing an excellent job with this. It really is. See how cold it is this storm. Even though it still flips over to rain, but look how much snow it tries to, push down. Same with the Canadian. So I think these models are on the right track exactly. I just think the GFS is really just kind of pretty much completely lost. I mean, if we go over to our let's go over to our air temperature real quick. I mean, just watch how fast it erodes the air. Watch. It erodes the air unbelievably fast. A lot of people don't look at dew points, but you should. Let's try again with the GFS with the dew point parameters. And look how quick. Boom. Just like that. Very quickly. Go over to the Canadian model. We're going to go over to our 2-meter air temperature. You're going to notice a difference. Significant difference. Around this time, the GFS has it all the way up here. That's not right. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to our WRF modules. Go over to our 2-meter air temperatures. And it's even more aggressive with the cold. See this right here? Do you see that? Do you see what's going on? It's almost as if the cold starts to fight a little bit, and then it starts to race northwestward. I think that there's going to be something of a surprise in this area over here. And then if you go over to the WRF NMM model, it's even more aggressive. And the NMM outperforms the ARW, just to let you guys know. But it erodes the cold air very slowly. Now, at this current time, regardless, we're all going to be switching over to rain. But I think the areas that really have to watch what's going to be going on, especially with tonight's model runs, especially with the WRF models, NAM, RGM, Canadian, GFS, and Euro pretty much out of their range. Still keep an eye on them, but I wouldn't take them for gospel. But I think this area right in here has to really keep an eye on high volatility, which I'm going to put on my map. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put out a preliminary precipitation map, and it's going to line up with what I've been discussing before. And it will... should I put one out? I'll think about it. I'll actually think about it. But if we go over to our teleconnections real quick, no, I'm not going to talk about the European and the losing its Wednesday storm, because I already showed you guys it's off the Baja of California. That's a great area for the European model. Go to our Arctic oscillation. You guys remember yesterday that there was a slight uptick over here? This close out? Now watch. There's a sharp drop right in this area over here, around 2 to 3 metrics, going from 3 to 2. This is in response to the models getting colder. NAL has a slight uprise, which would confluence the storm cutting to our west. PNA does a slight drop as well, which is the same confluence. So we go to our Madden-Julian oscillation. NCPE. And I'm not looking past this point over here, but as you can see, 654 and 2 don't want to be touched. This isn't going to happen over here. It's going to spin around in this circle of death, and it's going to emerge somewhere out of 8, 1, or 2. So we're not looking past this point. The MJO is not influencing our weather right now. So I'm going to develop my map. You guys watch this video, because I told you it wasn't going to be an all rainstorm, and I think that the southeast high pressure system might slip off more, and you know, it will weaken as it does that. And the high pressure north and west, I think, is coming in more amplified and pushing the storm further east. So we're going to keep an eye on that.